You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Right now it's 7. A Missouri woman is charged with a crash that killed 4 bikers over the weekend.
And authorities in Wichita respond to shootings also happening over the weekend.
And we've got ourselves a warm and muggy start to our Tuesday. More pop-up storms today. We'll take a look at that forecast coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thanks for joining us for the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Tanya Bach. A woman has now been charged in a deadly motorcycle crash that killed 4 people in Lawrence County, Missouri, Saturday morning. Teresa Manetsky is charged with DWI. Investigators say she admitted to taking several antipsychotic medications before the crash. Michael Hoffman spoke to a rider who decided not to go at the last minute.
It soaks in more and more every day that, I could not be here today speaking to you because if I had gone to ride and do some good for a benefit run, I wouldn't be here today. So somebody up there was watching me.
Police say on Saturday, 4 lives were claimed in a horrific accident with more badly injured. This is the security video just moments before the crash. David Padilla is friends with many of the riders who participated, and his neighbor Bob was on the ride and invited Padilla to join.
And Bob was the 3rd rider, and he told me that this lady crossed the road and hit the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 10th rider, and then the ones 6 through 10 veered off the road or whatever they did to avoid being killed and were injured as well.
Padilla says many people have stepped up to raise money for the families involved, but says because he himself was so close to going, he wanted to throw his own event for the fallen and injured by putting on a concert.
It's going to be hopefully on Saturday, July 15th. I'm going to have it about 10 o'clock in the morning till 8 p.m. at night. Should be about a 10-hour event. If I'm not able to have it because I can't get enough musicians on board, I will go ahead and maybe try to do it for August or September and have it inside versus outside in the sweltering heat. Because I could do it probably at Bellwood Park across the other side of town, but it's going to be very hot, and I want people to be comfortable there.
There's already an event planned to take place this Saturday, June 10th at Jimmy Mitchell Motors in Aurora. It's a car and bike show. All donations will go towards helping the families involved. Police say a man killed another man and chased a juvenile with a knife Saturday in Cassville. 30-year-old Richard Randolph is charged with second-degree murder and armed criminal action. Police say the caller was a boy who said one person was stabbed and that the suspect chased that boy with a knife. 40-year-old Andy Hunter of Exeter died of stab wounds. Passerby picked up the juvenile and took him to a nearby sheriff's office. No word on his condition. The Biden administration announces funding from multiple states, including Kansas, that will help reduce train vehicle collisions and blocked rail crossings. Olathe will receive nearly $18 million. Wellington receives $8.8 million. The city of Emporia gets $601,000. Now, Fayetteville, Arkansas will receive up to $576,000. And in Missouri, the Port Authority of Kansas City could get up to $2 million. The funding looks to address more than 400 at-grade crossings nationwide, improve safety, and make it easier to get around railroad tracks by adding grade separations.
Well, we've got another warm and muggy day for us today with pop-up storms by this afternoon. So let's go ahead and go into the future, hiding just behind the Joplin icon, one possible pop-up storm. And then as we head into the afternoon hours, say between 2 and 4, we'll see more of these showers and thunderstorms popping up across the area. And as we've seen between yesterday and Saturday, the possibility is there for a stray, strong, or severe thunderstorm. So definitely keep an eye to the sky and, of course, keep your Skywatch weather app handy. Once we get through tomorrow, through today, we're going to be partly cloudy, hot tomorrow. Could see a stray shower or storm late in the evening on Wednesday. And then we'll see better rain chances as we go into Thursday morning with a couple of batches of organized shower and thunderstorm activity rolling through. Once it gets through on the backside, could see a little bit of redevelopments and pop-up storms on the backside of that system by Thursday evening. We're also dealing with some patchy fog around the region. So I-49, Highway 69, you want to make sure that you are slowing down. Watch out for some potential dense fog out there as well. You can see some of that from the MoDOT camera at 20th and Range Line off in the distance. KDOT camera 69 and 400 starting to clear up just a bit. A little more sunshine up there. Our camera at 7th and Range Line showing that fog off in the distance as well. So do be aware, visibility in Joplin, at least by the airport, now down to 4 miles. 65 in Joplin, muggy, dew point 61, humidity at 87%. Around the area, we've got 57 now. Nevada, Fort Scott, 62 Iola, 65 Chatopa, Miami, Neosho, and 64 in Carthage. We get our morning started. We have the sunny skies, mostly clear, muggy, low 80s by late morning. Highs today ahead of those pop-up thunderstorms, upper 80s, lower 90s. So a very warm, very muggy day across the area. We'll have another full look at your forecast here in a few more minutes. Tanya?
All right, thanks, Chris. Wichita authorities respond to multiple weekend shootings, including some that involved teenagers. As Brandon Stitt reports, some people in the community are looking for a solution to what they see as a troubling trend.
The weekend started
shooting 1548 Southwest Port of Wichita, very east.
and wrapped up with multiple shootings throughout Wichita.
The shooting at MacArthur Meridian at the Quick Trip off right south.
Wichita police responded to 5 shootings where 6 people were injured, 5 of which were teenagers. For David Gilkey, co-founder of Rise Up for Youth, this trend is concerning.
My feelings on it is, the summer's coming and school just let out, and these young people really don't have as much activity as we thought they would have as they're going into the summertime.
And he says youth violence is a community problem.
And this is not a black thing, a white thing, this is a community and a citywide issue where we have to take a look at that.
David says the solution starts with adults.
As adults, we are responsible for our young people. I don't want people to get it twisted like, they ain't my kids, we shut our blinds and close our doors. No, we got to get back there. It takes a village.
And a job may help.
We need to give more jobs because I always say nothing stops a bullet like a job.
And adults should listen to the teens that are impacted by the violence.
Our young people want to be heard. And sometimes they crying out for help through violence, through drug addiction, through other ways.
Because what they say may be another solution to the problem.
Hear they cry. Not just the city and community, hear the cry of the young people. They're crying out. And then we need to start hearing what they're crying about.
Police say one of the teens who was shot was in the crossfire when a robbery victim exchanged fire with a suspect. Well, Joplin might see some big new changes in the area of 32nd Street and Range Line. The Joplin City Council last night discussed establishing the 32nd Street Theater Community Improvement District. They would add 2 new hotels to the area and demolish the old Holiday Inn to make space. A CID bond of $540,000 is needed to fund the demolition of the old Holiday Inn. Coming up, Charlene Patton stops by to show us how to make a sun-dried tomato tofu dip.
And later, we'll take another look at that forecast, our pop-up storms for today, and how the rest of the week is looking in that full forecast. But first, got another live look from the Route 66 Drive-In Theater in Carthage. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 7:10 now on this Tuesday morning. We got the possibility of those pop-up storms returning this afternoon, as we've noted yesterday and on Saturday. Even though we're not actually highlighted for a severe threat, we can still get a couple of strong to severe thunderstorms out there. So definitely keep an eye to the sky, keep the Skywatch weather app handy. As we head through the afternoon and into the early evening hours, most of these storms focus in southeast Kansas, parts of northeast Oklahoma, but could get a couple out into southwest Missouri. They'll die out once the evening progresses and we lose that daytime heating. Now we go into our Wednesday. Right now, we're really looking at being partly cloudy and just hot, but there is the possibility of maybe picking up a stray shower or storm Wednesday evening, so we'll keep an eye on that for you. We go into our Thursday, 4, 5, 6 a.m. This batch of showers and thunderstorms begins to roll through the area, and then trailing right behind it, another batch of showers and thunderstorms to roll through with some much needed actual real measurable rainfall here for a larger portion of the area as we head through our Thursday morning. Once that moves through, we could get some additional redevelopment, maybe some pop-up storms back behind that as we head into the afternoon, and then as we lose the daytime heating, we'll start to lose some of that development. The other bright side about the thunderstorm chances Thursday keeps our temperatures down a bit too. Down to 3.9 miles of visibility in Joplin and Fort Scott, so we've got just some patchy fog out there, roughly from the I-49 corridor to the Highway 69 corridor. So if you're traveling this morning, do be aware of that. You can see some of that fog off in the distance from the MoDOT camera at 20th and Range Line in Joplin. Looking better at the KDOT camera from 69 and 400 just south of Pittsburgh, and our camera 7th and Range Line off in the distance. You can see that fog out there. However, above that fog, clear skies, 65, a bit on the muggy side though. Dew point 61, humidity 87%. Temperatures across the region to the north, they've been chilly. Stockton, Nevada, Fort Scott, upper 50s, 62 in Iola, 65 Parsons, Chatopa, Miami, Neosho, and look at that, even 59 in Lamar. We get our morning started expecting mostly clear skies, maybe a few passing clouds, muggy and into the low 80s. Highs today, upper 80s, lower 90s across the region, and we'll see those partly cloudy skies and even some thunderstorm chances out there. And then tonight we drop back into the mid to upper 60s, mostly clear, partly cloudy skies. Pop-up storms return Friday, Saturday, Sunday, mid to upper 80s, and we're a little cooler on Monday, upper 70s and sunny skies. We'll be back with more right after this, but first, here's another live look from the 66 Drive-In Theater in Carthage. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. Join us in the studio today is the ever so wonderful Charlene Patton coming down from Topeka. Welcome back to the show. Great to have you here.
Thank you.
Got some great, exciting recipes for this month, and I'm looking forward to them. So this time, we are making a sun-dried tomato dip.
We are, and it is a recipe that the Soy Food Council is featuring for summer. And during the month of June, we're going to have all kinds of great recipes that will be great for picnics or families on the go.
Perfect.
This one has two other soy ingredients here. This is our tofu, and what I did is I put that in the blender and made it really creamy.
Okay.
And then this is just a package of cream cheese. I'm going to start mixing this together, and you're going to add our other ingredients.
Okay.
We have some chopped onion there. It's actually dried onion, if you want to put that in our mixing bowl. And then we have some garlic powder there that is going to add some flavor. And we know with the tofu, it doesn't really have a flavor, so everything we add in here is going to give it that flavor.
All
This
right.
is a package of ranch dressing, any kind that you want to use. They have even some with some other flavors. You could use a whisk to mix this, but what I found, yeah, go ahead and add that in. What I found worked really good with this recipe is that I put it in the food processor and just mixed all the ingredients in there.
Okay.
And that made it really nice and smooth. Now I have some dried tomatoes there. I chopped those up. That's 1/3 cup, and we're going to add that in there. Perfect. And then if you put this in the refrigerator, it will set up a little bit. But it makes a great dip for vegetables, crackers. You can see we have a display over here that I put some of vegetables that give lots of color, and go to the farmer's market this summer and you've got lots of choices
Right,
there
yeah.
to make a healthy snack or a relish tray, something to take on the picnic. What I would do then, you can see it's hard to get that blended real smooth. So I just put it back in the food processor, just whip it up just a few seconds, and it'll be
Okay.
nice and smooth, and you have a perfect dip.
Yeah, it looks pretty darn good. So you actually gave me a cracker.
I did.
So now, since there's a couple of steps with that, I presume we're gonna try out this one over
see
here.
how
and see how
smooth
that is.
See
Oh yeah,
how
yeah.
smooth that is.
It's a lot smoother,
Yeah.
lot creamier looking.
Yes, and we eat with our eyes, so it's nice to have that look where it's nice and smooth, and you don't see the chunks of the soy cream cheese.
That's pretty darn good too.
It is good, isn't
A
it?
lot of good flavor in there.
A lot of flavor.
Of course, as you mentioned, I'm gonna finish this here. All right, we've got a lot of great recipes coming up for the month of June. It's summertime, great summer recipes. If you missed this one, where can people go to find it?
They should go to kansassoybeans.org. They can call our 800 number, 877-KS-Soybean, and we'll mail them all the recipes that we're doing in June.
All right, perfect. And of course, you can find this at KOAMnewsnow.com. Charlene, thanks for coming in this morning. We will see you again next week, and we'll be back with more of the KOAM Morning News right after this. Well, if you missed our cooking segment with Charlene just a moment ago, this dip is phenomenal. You need to go to our website or to the Kansas Soybean site and get the recipe immediately.
Chris usually waits to eat till after the show, but he can't
It's
today.
so good. I don't know what it is about it, but it is addicting. Something else that is addicting is this really unique story we have for you. A Virginia woman who worked as a nurse during World War II is celebrating her 100th birthday.
Wow. Caroline Patrick joined the celebration and brings us this report.
Gertrude LeBlanc is humble.
Good gracious, I didn't know all this was going to be happening.
And the Manassas woman will tell you that today is overwhelming as she's in the spotlight. Family, friends, leaders, and the Freedom Museum in Manassas
Happy birthday to you,
are celebrating Gertrude's 100th birthday.
dear Grandma. About the same as 99. Overwhelmed. They just told me they'd pick me up around 1 o'clock, and I didn't know why or where or what, and here I am.
She joined the Army as an Army Corps nurse before deploying during World War II to Saipan.
Not very pleasant. Had some tough cases.
She decided to join the Army after a movie experience she had in the 40s.
They showed pictures of the war and that they needed nurses and stuff, and I walked out of the movie and there was Uncle Sam statue standing there saying, we need you, or something like that.
She won't tell you much about the time she was in Vietnam during the war.
Well, but that was my husband's duty. He was State Department.
Monday, she celebrated her birthday in the museum alongside the Manassas mayor and her great-grandchildren. She lives alone and says she loves to read books.
Do what you're supposed to do and be good to people.
Certainly an incredible milestone and incredible history.
It's a great story.
Absolutely. We'll be back with more of the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14 right after this.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It's currently 7:26. A daring rescue this weekend in Tulsa as police required a few reinforcements. The Tulsa Fire Department arrived to rescue a baby duckling from a storm drain. As you can see, they had to climb deep into the storm drain. Authorities say when one of the officers took a gander down the drain, he learned that the mama duck did indeed lose her duckling. At last report, not any of the ducklings suffered injuries. Now, if you're looking for something to occupy your kids this summer, the Pittsburgh Public Library has you covered. Maker Monday kicked off yesterday. Summer-long event gives kids the chance to explore fun projects they can create and take home a new craft each week.
So these programs provide an opportunity for kids and teens to get out of the house into a safe area of the community and meet with friends and socialize and just have a good time outside of school and other places during the summer.
The workshops take about an hour. The library will be closed on Monday, June 19th, so there will be no class that day. Public Library in Fort Scott, Kansas also hosted an event yesterday. Folks there had the chance to paint some rocks and enjoy some snacks and drinks. After the rock painting party, they went on a walk searching for other painted rocks. Organizers say it's a chance to explore creativity and nature.
We are painting rocks as a Kindness Rocks painting party that brings us together as a community and lets the kids work in cooperation to do something fun and creative.
You can find other fun events all around the 4 states on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com/events. Well, some area middle and high school athletes are among students participating in other activities. They got their free physical examinations completed yesterday in Joplin. More than 300 students from Joplin, Riverton, and Columbus schools are getting their health checked at the Joplin High School gymnasium. Joplin School's athletic director Matt Hyatt says student athletes and members of activities are required to have a pre-participation physical every 2 years. He says the partnership between Freeman and participating schools can save a great amount of money, especially for a family that has several athletes. Physicals are done on time before the summer.
We're trying to pick up any previous injuries they've had or any health problems they have. A lot of times whatever their family history is really important. So if their dad's had heart problems or they've had passing out episodes, you're trying to pick up those things. And if they had prior injuries, musculoskeletal injuries, you're trying to pick those up as well.
There will be 2 more scheduled examination nights this month at Neosho Junior High and Webb City High School.
We've got mostly clear skies as we head into the morning, and we will warm up and be muggy out there, low 80s. Humid conditions continue. Pop-up storms across the area this afternoon. Could see a stray strong or severe thunderstorm out there. Highs pushing upper 80s, lower 90s. As we lose the daytime heating, we will lose those thunderstorms and go mostly clear to partly cloudy overnight and mild, mid to upper 60s. Low 90s tomorrow, hot, maybe a stray shower or 2, otherwise partly cloudy. Storms in the morning Thursday, pop-up storms by the afternoon, low 80s, pop-up storms through Sunday, mid to upper 80s, and then we're in the upper 70s, mostly sunny on Monday. Tanya?
All right, Missouri Southern is inspiring kids to check out some new sports and get active. KOAM's Amber Jenkins caught up with some kids who are trying golf for the first time.
Summertimes means summer camps, and Missouri Southern State University's Kids Sports Camp focuses on learning different kinds of sports. On the first day, campers hit the driving range with high emotions.
A little anxious, but it's really fun.
Children's Lifetime Sports Academy is held every summer, but this is Jersey's first year at the camp.
Ooh, that was close. That was close.
And first time holding a club.
I really like active. I like to be active, running, laughing, having fun, loud. Because my mom is like, well, if you don't do any sports, you won't be as moving as you're getting older.
MSSU wants kids to step out of their comfort zone and explore different kinds of sports. You never know, the next Tiger Woods could be a local.
Ooh, that one's a good one.
Well, I am really pro golf for junior golf. So I coach 2 high school teams, the girls and the boys, and need juniors to get into play golf. You know, it gives them exposure to something else that they may not otherwise know anything of, and golf can be kind of expensive. So
no, they just said that you're really good at different sports and participating and stuff.
This 4-day sports academy is just one of the 4 camps Jersey has set up this summer.
No, I usually just have 1. So yeah, I upgraded this year.
Reporting in Joplin, Amber Jenkins, KOAM News.
The Academy welcomes children of all abilities, ages 7 through 12. This morning, we've been discussing your favorite Star Wars movie.
That is because you're going to want to get out your checkbook, because one of Hollywood's premier prop houses is prepping for a massive movie fire sale that could land you Harry Potter's cloak or the Dark Knight's bat pod.
That'd be cool. More than 1,400 items are up for grabs at Prop Store's huge Hollywood auction in late June that could haul in as much as $12 million in bids. There are too many Tinseltown trinkets to name them all, but highlights include Michael Keaton's bat suit, Rose's dress from Titanic, a baseball glove from Field of Dreams, a gremlin from Gremlins, and the thing from The Thing, and more. The star of the show is Princess Leia's white gown worn in Star Wars by the late, great Carrie Fisher.
Or storage, whichever. That does bring us to our question for you this morning. What's your favorite Star Wars movie? So far, 38% of you say it's something not on our list. Another 38% of you say Return of the Jedi. And we got 12% going for Star Wars and for Empire Strikes Back. So make sure you take time to vote through our website, our app, and take part in the discussion on our Facebook page.
What about the newest ones? They didn't make this list. I guess they'd be in the other category.
Right. That's why we have the other category, because that's a long list.
Return of the Jedi is way up there, though.
It is.
It's tough. And it's constantly changing. I love this.
It's a Star Wars voting war.
Yeah. No storage wars here. It's Star Wars. That's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. We've got David Grubb in studio this morning. He's going to tell us about a program called the Mo Chip ID program.
And we've got those pop-up thunderstorms once again this afternoon. Even some patchy fog you can see here on our studios, our cameras here at the KOAM studios. We'll be back with another check of that forecast, but first, here's another live look from the 66 Drive-In Theater in Carthage, Missouri, as we celebrate the 90th anniversary of the first drive-in theater back in Camden, New Jersey. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. We have a special guest joining us this morning, David Grubb, here to tell us about the MoChip program and where you can get your kids signed up. All right, thank you for joining us this morning, David.
Thank you.
Well, first let's start off, what is the MoChip program and why is it important?
Okay, first thing that everybody always asks, no, we don't insert a chip in the kids.
No, no, I didn't think so, but that's a good question though.
But this is a child identification program. Over 2,000 kids are abducted or disappear every day in the United States. This helps the families and the police find them.
Yes.
We take down, this is done, we do this every year. There are 7 crews that go around the state doing this.
Is this part of, you're with the Osage Lodge? It's
number 303,
number 303.
in Nevada.
This is part of like one of your lodge's missions. Yeah.
Right. When you bring your child in, and at any age, it used to be just from birth to 21. Now we take even old people like, not you, but me.
Thank you for not calling me old. So what do they do with the kids what's the process entail?
When you first come in, we have the parents fill out a form that lists all the emergency numbers for the family, the doctors, the dentists, psychiatrists, whatever. Most people don't carry that with them. If you'll go to the bottom of this sheet and go to mochip.org, you can download the forms in advance and have them filled out. Then we weigh the children and measure them. Then they go on into the next room and we take and put all this information on a computer. Then we take digital photos, full frontal and both profiles. I asked them one year, why did they do, because they always have the girls pull their hair back. They told me that your ears are as identifying as your fingerprints.
That's true.
So after all of this is recorded, then we go on down to the digital fingerprints and then on around to the bite wing, which your teeth are yours and nobody else's is like it.
So they do fingerprints, photographs, they do your dental imprints.
And there's enough saliva on that dental for a DNA sample.
For DNA.
And there's enough scent for a trained scent dog to find that kid in a crowd.
Awesome.
Now, the dental we can't put on a computer. We get a thumb drive. All this information's on that, and everything is given to the parents.
So the parents keep this information, so if their child ever goes missing, then they can take that to the police.
And we triple wipe the computers at the end of the program. These computers have never been online, so there's nothing hacked.
Okay, we are almost out of time.
Okay.
So I just want to quickly mention that this is going to be Saturday, June 10th from 10 to 2 as you guys are going to be set up there in Nevada.
Correct. And if you get there a little bit early, the Eastern Star is serving breakfast.
Even better. I like that. Well, thank you so much for coming in this morning.
Thank you for having me. I hope the people respond to this, and we have about 100 every year.
It's a great program.
It really is.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. Let's take a look at our pop-up storm chances as we head into this afternoon. We could see some as early as noon. It's kind of hiding behind the temperature icon here for Joplin, but there's one stray one out there. And then we'll see some additional ones develop as we head through the afternoon. Now, the primary focus looks to be southeast Kansas, parts of northeast Oklahoma, but could still get a few stray ones into southwest Missouri. And as we saw yesterday and on Saturday, even though we're not highlighted for a severe threat today, these storms could pick up enough energy. We could see one or two of them be strong to severe, so do keep that in mind. We'll go into our Wednesday. We're looking to be partly cloudy and hot. We could see a stray pop-up storm or two late in the evening. Looks like that's a not very likely scenario for us, but it's a possibility. We'll keep an eye on it for you. Then we go into Thursday, about 4 a.m., this batch enters our northern counties, sweeps on through actual meaningful shower, thunderstorm activity with some rainfall. Another batch right behind that that's going to push on through as we head into the mid-morning hours. And then once that rolls on through, we could see some additional pop-up thunderstorms behind all this activity before we lose the heating of the day. So some great news there, and it'll keep our temperatures down on Thursday as well. Still got some patchy fog out there, again, roughly between the I-49 and Highway 69 corridors, so do keep that in mind. MoDOT camera, 20th and Rangeline, clear skies, little fog in the distance. Looking clearer from the KDOT camera at 69 and 400, and from our camera at 7th and Rangeline, you can see some of that patchy fog off in the distance. 65 Joplin, clear skies overhead. Dew point 61, humidity 87%, so it is muggy out there. Cooler to the north, but starting to warm up. 61 Fort Scott, 63 Nevada, 67 in Pittsburgh, Chetopa, 68 Miami, and 66 in Neosho. We get our morning started, mostly clear skies, couple of passing clouds, low 80s by late morning. Highs today, upper 80s, low 90s, partly cloudy this afternoon with those pop-up storms. That's a quick check of your forecast. Now here's Tanya Bach with a quick check of Consumer Watch.
Well, Spotify is laying off 200 employees from its podcasting unit. That's about 2% of the audio streaming company's global workforce. The Sweden-based company has bet big on podcasts in recent years. In 2019, it redesigned the app to emphasize them and has spent more than $500 million on podcast producing studios. It also has a number of exclusive podcasts it distributes, such as the Joe Rogan Experience. However, the company has been paring back the number of exclusives. Airline industry is bouncing back from the pandemic. The International Air Transport Association expects global airlines to make nearly $10 billion in profit this year. That's more than double what the industry's main lobby group forecasted in December. The revised number takes into account cargo revenues, China's reopening to tourists, and lower jet fuel prices. In total, the group says nearly 4.5 billion people will travel by air this year, slightly less than the number of passengers who flew in 2019 before the pandemic. We'll be right back with more after this, but first let's take a look at the market prices before the opening bell. Massachusetts woman was working at her dream job when motherhood came calling. Isabel Miller stepped away from her role as a fashion designer to raise her son.
That son, though, became her new model, leading her back to the career that she loved so much. Doug Meehan has her story.
So this fabric is organic, 95% cotton, 5% lycra.
When it comes to fabrics and designs, there can be never enough for Isabel Miller.
You have rolls of material everywhere.
Yes.
I mean, like everywhere.
Yes. So these are probably most of our current season fabrics.
Isabel is the owner of Hedgehog Belly Design, an infant and children's wear clothing company she founded in her hometown of Framingham.
Ever since growing up, I probably have known that I wanted to have a store or my own company.
For Isabel, the journey to creating her own company first started in New York City. After graduating college with a degree in fashion design and production, she landed a job at Marc Jacobs, working in their brand new children's wear line. Burberry in London was the next stop, but when motherhood called, it was time to come home and eventually embark on her own clothing line and business.
I went from having a team, like of people, so I would just sketch my idea and be like, here, make it. And now I'm like drafting the pattern, I'm making the prototype, I'm grading out all the patterns.
Isabel admits her clothing line was sort of a happy accident. She was making outfits for her son when other moms started to take notice.
So I made him a ton of pants in like all these different cute prints. I designed this one pair of pants. I would send him to daycare and people were like, oh, where did you get those pants? Those are so cute. This is the harem pant. They are our #1 seller.
Isabel says when it comes to creating a successful kids' clothing company, the key is to remember not only who's buying it, but who's wearing it as well.
Everything is always machine washable. Everything is always like soft to the touch and comfortable. And I try to always have everything be natural fibers or predominantly natural fibers.
Yeah, you got to remember it's the kids wearing it.
Exactly.
Well, Isabel's great uncle Rudolph and her great aunt Nancy are Rudolph and Nancy Talbot.
It's the same Talbots who own the clothing store you may be familiar with. So I can see where she got that interesting clothing design from.
I can
Been
too.
there for a while.
Yeah.
Well, something else we might have an interest in is some pop-up thunderstorms again this afternoon and just how hot it's going to be. So let's take a look at the future track. Could see some thunderstorms by this afternoon developing across the area. As we've noted, we could see a stray, strong, or severe thunderstorm with this activity as we head into the afternoon. Well, not likely. It wasn't likely yesterday or Saturday either, but it happens. So just keep an eye to the sky. Keep the Skywatch weather app handy. As we head into the evening, we'll see these storms die out, and then we'll head into our Wednesday, where we could see a stray shower or two, but we're looking to be mainly dry, hot, partly cloudy out there. But again, in the evening, a stray pop-up storm or two possible across the area. Then we go into Thursday. This batch, this thing's not stopping at the right part, but 4 a.m. our northern counties, 5 a.m., 6 a.m., good batch of actual shower and thunderstorm activity. Right behind it, this batch of shower and thunderstorm activity out there, bringing some real, meaningful, measurable rainfall to the area. And then once that rolls through by mid-morning, we could see some additional redevelopment, maybe a couple of pop-up storms on the backside of this activity as we head into Thursday evening, and then that will move on out of here, and it will also keep our temperatures a little cooler as well. Got some patchy fog around the area still to contend with, roughly from the I-49 to Highway 69 corridor. You can see it in the distance on the MoDOT camera at 20th and Rangeline. KDOT camera 69 and 400 looking clearer, and we've got that patchy fog way off in the distance here on our camera at 7th and Rangeline. We've got the clear skies. 65 in Joplin, 61 dew point, humidity 87%, making it quite muggy. And around the region starting to warm up here. We got 63 Nevada, 67 Pittsburgh, Chetopa, and 68 in Miami. We get our morning started. Sunny skies, mostly clear, warming into the low 80s by late morning, and will be quite muggy. Got another check of your forecast for today, the week ahead, and the news you need to know right after this.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Joplin Regional Airport got a temporary makeover as it makes room for an aviation history exhibit. The exhibit takes a look at the Joplin aviation through the ages. It includes pictures, articles, and videos of the history of flying in Joplin. Missouri Southern State University is inspiring kids to try new sports and activities. Children's Lifetime Sports Academy is held every year at MSSU for 4 days and at $125 a kid. The goal of Sports Academy is to teach skills and promote an appreciation for simply being active. Well, some area middle and high school athletes among students participating in other activities got their free physical examinations completed yesterday in Joplin. More than 300 students from Joplin, Riverton, and Columbus schools are getting their health checked at the Joplin High School gymnasium. Joplin School's athletic director Matt Hyatt says student athletes and members of activities are required to have a pre-participation physical every 2 years. He says the partnership between Freeman and participating schools can save a great amount of money, especially for a family that has several athletes. The physicals are done on time before the summer. Well, if you're looking for something to occupy your kids this summer, the Pittsburgh Public Library has you covered. Maker Monday kicked off yesterday. The summer-long event gives kids the chance to explore fun projects they can create and take home a new craft each week.
We're going to be muggy, we're going to be warm, and we've got pop-up thunderstorms again this afternoon. Could be a stray strong or severe thunderstorm out there. Highs today, upper 80s, lower 90s across the area. Pop-up storms die out as we lose the daytime heating. Then we go mostly clear to partly cloudy skies. Temperatures dropping back into the mid to upper 60s. And we're looking to be hot and dry tomorrow, maybe a stray shower or two, upper or lower 90s. Lower 80s Thursday, showers and thunderstorms throughout the day, especially in the morning. Pop-up storms through the weekend. Temperatures mid to upper 80s. Monday, though, not too bad. Sunny skies and upper 70s.
Well, a brown bear is spotted in Prescott Valley, Arizona.
The bear was seen wandering around a Safeway supermarket Sunday before making its way back into the woods. The Prescott Valley Police Department warns the public that this furry creature might come back.
All across the country, there's been an increase in bear sightings as the animals wake up from hibernation and search for food. Wildlife experts recommend the public contact local authorities, give those bears plenty of space if spotted. I feel like last year we had a lot of sightings around here. I haven't heard them yet so much
Not
this
yet
year.
here, but yeah, you're right. We have had an uptick in bear sightings, especially last year, so we'll have to keep an eye out. But I like that the bears, even coming out of hibernation, have gotten smart enough to go to the grocery store to look for food. They know where to go to get what they need.
Yeah. If, you know, moose want popcorn, they go to the movie theater.
Exactly.
Makes sense.
Well, thank you so much for letting us put the good in your morning. We'll be back with more news and weather today at noon.
Have a great morning and an even better day.